Okay, so here's Beyonce, and she's walking out, and everything is fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down, and okay, no, we're gonna rerun it until you see it. Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a Frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is, there it is.
And I don't know why she keeps protecting that man. He doesn't even like her like that, yet she keeps putting herself at risk, defending him and shielding him from backlash. I don't get it. Now Solange is reportedly done staying quiet because she has seemingly put Beyonce on blast. According to various claims circulating online, Beyonce didn't just stand by while Jay-Z allegedly moved funny behind the scenes. The narrative suggests she may have actively helped keep things buried, even after his name started circulating in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. Insiders are saying Solange is tired of watching her sister protect him, especially once the Epstein files surfaced and the illusion many fans held on to began to crack. Old accusations started resurfacing, strange industry moments suddenly made more sense to critics, and people began questioning whether Beyoncé was ever just a bystander, or whether she was part of a culture of silence that allegedly protected Epstein and his associates. Here's where things become uncomfortable for many observers. Almost everything fans are revisiting now seems to line up with what Wendy Williams warned about years ago. Wendy once claimed that Beyoncé was more calculated and strategic than the public realized. At the time, she faced heavy backlash for those comments. Now, some critics argue she may have been early rather than simply bitter. Her past accusations are being re-examined in a new light. So let's break down the broader conversation that's been unfolding online. It appears, according to internet speculation, that Solange may have unintentionally exposed Beyoncé by attempting to push her to stop covering for Jay-Z and to confront any alleged wrongdoing. The irony, critics say, is that Solange's effort to hold him accountable has instead placed Beyoncé under scrutiny. For years, reports have suggested Solange was suspicious about Jay-Z's associations. When his name appeared in documents related to Epstein, that reportedly intensified her concerns. Given the disturbing nature of many allegations tied to Epstein's circle, it's not hard to understand why anyone connected to that orbit would face public questioning. When new sets of Epstein documents were unsealed, familiar names resurfaced in public discourse. Jay-Z's name was mentioned in discussions involving Harvey Weinstein, which led to renewed speculation online. Some interpretations of the documents suggested proximity within elite social circles, though proximity alone does not establish wrongdoing. Still, critics argue that the optics alone were troubling. One particularly disturbing account referenced in online discussions involved a woman who claimed she contacted federal authorities, alleging abuse connected to Epstein and others. In her statement, she described being abducted in the mid-1990s and later regaining consciousness in a room where she claimed certain high-profile individuals were present. These are extremely serious allegations. It is important to emphasize that allegations are not convictions, and claims circulating online remain disputed. Beyond Epstein-related discourse, fans have also revisited an old lawsuit connected to Sean Diddy Combs. For someone who has publicly downplayed closeness to Diddy, critics point out that Jay-Z's name often surfaces in overlapping industry circles. In one lawsuit filed by Joseph Manzaro, multiple celebrities were initially named. The plaintiff alleged being drugged, transported against his will, and subjected to abuse within what he described as a coercive criminal enterprise. He further claimed that at one event, Jay-Z and Beyoncé were present. However, the lawsuit was later amended, and references to them were removed. At the time, many assumed that meant there was no basis for including them. Now, critics speculate about why their names were dropped, though speculation is not proof of wrongdoing. For years, Beyoncé's public image has largely been that of a poised, controlled, and private superstar. Many fans saw her as someone who may have been young and possibly vulnerable when her relationship with Jay-Z began. That narrative painted her as separate from any alleged misconduct surrounding him. However, as online discussions intensify, some critics argue that if she knowingly protected him, that would shift the perception from passive to complicit. Again, these claims remain unproven and heavily debated. Other resurfaced interviews have added fuel to online debates. In a past conversation with Shannon Sharpe, rapper DaBaby described attending a party hosted by Diddy where he alleged the environment shifted into something more exclusive and uncomfortable. He claimed that certain high-profile names, including Beyonce and Jay-Z, were present during a more private portion of the gathering. These are anecdotal claims and have not been substantiated by independent evidence. Still, they contribute to the narrative critics are building. There have also been discussions about an attorney, Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, who publicly stated that she was contacted regarding a tape allegedly involving a prominent celebrity and Diddy. She declined to broker any sale of such material. While she did not publicly confirm identities beyond acknowledging Diddy's presence in the footage she referenced, internet speculation quickly filled in blanks without verified confirmation. Importantly, no verified tape involving Beyonce has been publicly authenticated. Additionally, former NBA player Larry Johnson once recounted attending a Rockaway-related gathering in the mid-2000s where he described an uncomfortable moment involving minors unexpectedly appearing at a late-night party. He recalled overhearing a comment he interpreted as inappropriate. These recollections are personal accounts and have not led to formal charges or verified findings. As the internet continues dissecting past moments, many are revisiting Wendy Williams. Every time she called Beyonce out, people came for her, accusing her of being bitter or jealous. Now, it feels like we might owe her an apology. This is where the story starts to turn ugly, because once you zoom out, it stops looking like random accusations and starts resembling a pattern, one built on silence, protection, and strategic power moves that critics say trace back to Beyonce. From edited documents to amended lawsuits and industry insiders suddenly speaking up, the same question keeps resurfacing. How much did she actually know? And how long was she willing to keep things buried? If Solange truly tried to push her to stop covering for him, that alone suggests tensions ran deep behind closed doors. What makes this hit harder is that none of it feels entirely new. It feels delayed. Wendy had been saying for years that the image seemed too polished, the power too protected, and the narrative too tightly controlled. She was dragged and dismissed, but now the pieces appear to be lining up.